the HeartsBros. We just talk about playing games, so why not join us as we sit down and melt our brains?
Whose house is this?
Who would live in a house like this?
Welcome back to HeartsBros.
Probably someone fucking evil.
Shall we see what happens now?
Yes.
This is a weird part of the game.
The password.
What shall we say? Fear the old blood.
What?
Oh.
Thanks for giving me fucking
What's
2
this?
seconds to choose that.
What's this? Who's that guy who said the password? Already dead.
What? Oh my! Like already dead.
Madman's knowledge.
What? Okay, what?
So like you talked and the guy was like, "What's the password?" So you tell him the password, and then he's already been dead for ages. And you're like, "What's going on? The game's going weird." So there, I've just.
Thanks for connecting those dots for me, just in case I wouldn't have connected them myself.
Well, you go. Sometimes you got to guide you by the hand.
Sometimes I'm gonna guide you by the fist.
Guide you by the fist.
Come
like,
here, kiddo. I'm gonna guide you by me fives.
Me
Give you a bunch of fives.
Bunch of.
Have you heard that
fives.
expression? A bunch of fives.
No, I haven't.
So now I'm supposed to be thinking, oh shit, it was weird. It's like, he said, it was a memory.
It's a memory.
My mind would just go straight to time travel.
I know you just
And echoes
you
of the
are,
past,
You
like-
are king of like time travel, though.
I would just assume that they're speaking from the past.
I don't think I've ever met someone who's obsessed with time travel as you are.
Listen!
Just gonna put the timer. Hold on. I gotta activate the timer.
Activate the time.
Hold on. I'll get back to what I was saying in a second. Just gonna do this. Come on. What's it doing? It's closing the app every time I open it.
Well,
Come on. Please. What are you doing? What are you doing?
well.
Anyway, so, listen you!
Giving up on that trial.
Time travel's great, but a lot of people do it badly. Everyone does it badly.
Well, no.
Do you not think people do? It seems okay. Something I was thinking about the other day is like whenever a show or anything uses time travel, to me it usually feels like a jumping the shark moment. As soon as they do the story where they go back in time or forward in time and learn something, and then they have to do this or they have to fix something they fucked up Back to the Future style, it feels like they're jumping the shark. It doesn't feel like just another mechanic to use for a plot. Because the plots always seem like the same. It just feels like they just do that time travel story instead of something interesting with the concept of time travel. Like, a lot of concepts that aren't explored in time travel, like predeterminism.
The favourite
Because everyone
time
does...
travel one I liked recently was Looper. I really liked Looper.
Yeah, but that was interesting because they use predeterminism theory.
Yeah.
Where everything is...
Gonna go the same way.
Everything in history is not already planned out, but it just kind of like... okay, so I have a feeling, an idea that I changed now because of the whole observer effect thing in the soul.
Yeah.
Where if you... Well, man, it's such a materialistic idea, actually. It could be completely wrong. If you knew, like, the position and charge of every electron in the universe or something. If you knew, like... If you had all the information stored on a database, and if you had even the information about the database itself was stored on the database, like it was a system that knew itself,
Yeah.
right? That there would be an algorithm that took all that info and could predict the future.
Okay.
Right, you know what I mean? Like it was all probability number crunching. Like it's just things would just typically work out a certain way. Like the idea that you don't have free will, you just choose the thing that you were most likely to choose.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, oh, I could eat anything I want for breakfast, but you don't. You eat whatever you want, whatever you would
Usually.
typically have. Like, but if for one day you chose something different because you were like, I'm fed up of these.
Yeah.
That could also be typical because people do that.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily free will because you've just chosen it because in your head you're sick of it.
Yeah, if it was like, what is free will? Whatever. That's a big load of bollocks. But, what was it? But like, if the material changes based on the observer effect, then maybe you could never do that. I think there's... Good, nice trap, friends. I think there's probably an element of like, you could predict the future to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But And I don't know if... oh, man, free will. Man, I'm really eating up on that subject right now. But, yeah. So, predeterminism theory means that everything does play out a certain way that it was most likely to.
Yeah.
And it's what I use in my fiction because it helps me weave interesting stories and character development because you can use it.
Yeah.
Because, like, imagine you go to the future and you see yourself alive and well, and you know that predeterminism theory is a thing, so congratulations. 18,000 dollar drain. And you know, so you know you can't die until you become that version of you. So you feel invincible, you feel on top of the moon, you can do whatever you want.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, like, you would feel overly confident.
Yeah.
Yeah? Then, imagine you become that version of you, and then you don't know there's one of you in the future that's okay.
Yeah.
And that confidence is suddenly stripped away from you. Like, what if someone goes back in time to try and prevent the death of a loved one, causes that death, and then is racked with guilt forever?
Yeah. What did you think? Actually, this is related to time travel, I think. So, in the second series of Misfits, did you watch Misfits?
Yeah.
They did the time travel episode where they went back and... Well, actually, he can time travel anyway. The one guy can.
Because they do a good job of that in that because they play out a story, then they can undo it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit annoying because they've done a couple of stories where it's the whole woke up and it was all a dream kind of thing, which is a fucking annoying conclusion to anything.
Yeah.
But they try and do it in an imaginative way. They would do it in little bits. Basically, Misfits is where there's teenagers in the UK, in London, that have superpowers.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a little universe where it's like superpowers.
The whole idea
but
is...
it's street and landing, mate.
The whole idea is what happens if kids who have to do community service get superpowers.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it takes the logical idea that, well, most average people who get superpowers won't become superheroes.
Yeah.
And
they just fuck around.
And then in the second series, they do a time... Because they sell all their... No, I'm not going to spoil it, but they sell all their... They all get new powers.
They ditch their powers because they don't think they're that great anyway.
So, and then they all get new powers. And...
Because it
a
means
Jewish
that the
guy,
writers of the show
a Jewish guy
can use different powers in their writing.
A Jewish guy who survived the Holocaust takes one of the main character's powers,
which is the time travel.
And time travels all the way back time to when he was young.
Yeah.
Kills Hitler, and then how that plays out with... No, he tries
to kill Hitler.
And then it prevents like the World War II being happened.
Didn't he give Hitler a mobile phone?
That's it, something like that.
He gave Hitler a mobile phone, and then the Nazis get super phone technology, so they all call each other.
Yeah.
So then they win the war. That's not
it changes the history basically.
But then it all gets undone.
Yeah. It's a weird series. But
that wasn't a whole series. That was one episode, wasn't it?
It was one episode. It's two-parter in the second series.
So that's your favorite time travel.
It's one of my favorite time travel. Just because. I mean, I like the show Misfits anyway because I thought it was a really good take on, like, it was before the saturation of superhero
episode.
That Milk episode is so good.
But in this show, right, guys, there was an episode where there was a guy whose superpower was the ability to control milk,
and everyone hates him.
So imagine Aquaman, but with milk.
It's so good. I don't even want to talk about it because like the series is so good.
Yeah, go watch it. Go watch Misfits.
It's
really hard to see because Channel 4. Nice! You got them all back. You can level up like fucking twice now.
Channel 4 also
they took all their stuff. They took all their stuff off
YouTube,
Netflix, and YouTube and everything. You can only see it on 4OD.
Don't they show it on the American Netflix though?
Maybe you can.
Because it would be stupid.
I'll switch my region.
I do know Misfits is.
Other proxies are available.
I do know Misfits is quite popular in America.
Wow, he has got a powerful torch.
It's because they oiled me up.
Slick to the touch.
Slick to the touch, mate. Is that really annoying you, that app?
No. But,
no, it's not my favourite. I did always like the first two Terminator films as well, for time travel.
Terminator's stupid.
Terminator's pretty good.
You can only send robots back in time.
No,
you got skin on the outside.
No, you can't. They send a human back in the first film.
I thought they couldn't send biological matter. I thought that was the whole theory of how they did it.
No, they couldn't send back like
a gun.
Yeah, well, why did they send back a gun? Because no one knew what to use it for.
Wait, yeah, they couldn't send back weapons.
No,
you said I thought they couldn't send back weapons and stuff.
No, because like they have to send someone back now to use it because they just sent a gun back. Who's gonna pick it up? Some random.
No, they sent the Terminator back, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have any weapons or clothes or anything.
No, because they can't send back clothes.
What? Why is the? This is what I mean. Like, when people draw the line, like they make a scientific rule just to make something aesthetically pleasing.
I don't think it makes it stupid though.
I know, but they made a rule up that you can't send back clothes.
I can't remember the actual rules of the actual thing of what they can't send back. But
Yeah.
it's something like that. But like, yeah, Kyle Reese is the human in the first one.
I just wanted some on. Nick, don't you lose? You've lost.
It doesn't matter. We're going to be spending a lot of time to this area because it's a shit area.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, not further down it is anyway. I'm not. To be fair, I'm hardly paying attention anymore.
Oh, wonderful.
Sorry.
But yeah, like, I do think there's a bunch of cool stuff you can do with time travel with breach determinism theory. But I do think I still feel whenever a show uses time travel, if it's not originally based around an element of time travel, I think to me it feels like jumping the shark. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm so invested in time travel as an idea. And maybe I'm constantly jumping the shark. Maybe I'm trying to avoid people feeling like I jumped the shark with any of my...
I always feel like when you're trying to write time travel, you're trying to write a thing so people can't pick out the plot holes.
Yes, which means I never do anything.
Yeah.
Because I spend my entire life trying to figure out what the... There's no plot holes in anything I write now. Nowadays.
Another one I always like Futurama's time travel.
That was really good. And that wasn't jumping the shark because
it was
they basically, and Matt Groening said in the commentary for that they would he like actually said, like, it's the same as Rick and Morty, that they never want to do time travel.
Yeah.
Like there's people like that like they'll start off with a rule of like, we're not doing time travel.
Yeah.
And which means they hold off it until one of the writers will think of a really good idea, and then they'll do it. Because, you should never... Rules are meant to be broken. You make a rule not to stick to it religiously.
Yeah.
Like on the rule of this show is we would never do... we would never record a gameplay multiplayer over Skype. But me and Jost did. Yeah. We had to, and it worked out quite well. That was one of those rules. But like, I really love the Futurama time travel episode. Because it wasn't...
This is such an annoying area. I forgot how annoying it is.
Probably more annoying than this conversation we're having for people who don't give a shit about time travel. That episode of Futurama, basically, people don't know, the plot is they go back in time to Roswell. Fry becomes his own granddad by making the sexy fun time with his great-grandmother, which gives him the Delta brainwave where he's a stupid idiot that the brain monsters can't... Whatever. It was funny. But basically, it was just like any other episode.
Yeah, it was just like any other episode. And actually, they used it to make the final, like, the big arc, the big story arcs that they started going into.
Yeah. But it was just... The reason why it was funny because it actually didn't deviate too much from the typical Futurama episode structure, which was they go off on a delivery to a different planet, they have an adventure with that other planet, they come back.
Yeah, and then everything's fine at the end.
Yeah. Like, past Earth... for them was just yet another alien planet to visit. Yeah. Like, and the way that they were reacting to funny past stuff was just... No, Futurama does have an integral time travel element to its structure anyway, because Fry's from the past. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, maybe that's why it didn't feel like it jumped the shark, because it did have in its inception an element of time travel. From the very start, yeah. Shit.
And it was pre-millennial. I always forget that it came out before the millennium happened.
Was it 1999 the first episode?
It was either 1999 or 1998. I can't remember. It was one of the two. They wanted. I know they tried. They had to.
I can't believe it started pre-2000, man.
It did, yeah.
Everything else that feels
because they still had the Twin Towers in some of the in old New York and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I don't know whether to do a 9/11 story. Because nowadays with time travel, it's like, do I do 9/11? Outside job. You're just gonna keep dying on the same group while we talk about bullshit. You didn't die! You got away with like a sling of hell. Because, I don't know. Because if you've got time travel and you can also do Superman powers, then you just go back in time and stop 9/11. But if I like do my predeterminism thing, where something like a disaster event like 9/11 would happen anyway, then the characters would cause 9/11 to happen if they tried to stop it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So,
which is why I don't want to tackle 9/11 in those stories, because then it would I I feel like I want to do the They Caused 9/11 story.
The thing about...
And then people are going to get fucking offended in a different way than
the thing with 9/11,
9/11.
It's not been long enough for you to do a story like that about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
it's all taste. It's all... People can do whatever they want,
well,
really.
like,
It's just
you can
taste.
do fiction about Nazi Germany now, and you have done since the 70s, because it was like, you know, it was still like 20-something years since it happened.
Yeah.
Whereas with 9/11, even though it was 14 years ago, which is quite a long time, and it's usually something that's passed out of cultural thing by now, because it's brought up every day on the news, like Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, because it's still fucking used to continue this fake war.
Yeah.
This continuous rolling fake war.
And it's still in everyone's mind, so like it still feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And I still remember when it happened. Like, I remember coming home from school.
Fallout 4 made me remember 9/11. What a little head dude! Like, hi, I can see you. Look at my heads. I'm covered in heads. Little skull crab. Oh, he's gonna fuck you up. Yeah, it's still used.
Yeah.
So it still feels there. But I feel like I want to see 9/11 as an idea dismantled in a good way using comedy and fiction.
Yeah.
I think something's got to come along that does it to undermine.
Well, it won't happen until all this business we have meddling with the Middle East stops.
Oh, baby. Welcome to an entertainment show. All this mess. The Middle East has always been fucked up and it always will be. But our involvement in it. Oh, we've always been involved in it. British Empire. Anyway. I don't think that's ever going to be over.
Well, yeah.
What's this guy got? Oh, nice little blood pellet.
Blood pellets, mate.
Well, look, maybe we'll not talk about time travel and 9/11. It's an outside job. In another HeartsBros. How about that?
We'll probably find something else to talk about.
Yeah. Maybe we'll also have a timer so we know how long the episode is.
We could... Oh, I don't know. I was going to say we could probably ask people what they actually like us talking about. Or should we not?
You can ask her. You can ask her whatever you want.
What do you actually like us talking about?
What
like,
do you like? Y/N. People.
Do you like all of it? Do you like some of it? Do you want us to just be goofy?
It'll be a mix of everything.
Yeah, it's always going to be a mix of everything.
It's just going to be an in between. That's it. The response will be
well,
like,
it's one of those
I like
things,
this, and also I like this.
It's also one of those things where, like, it's tough to gauge what people actually like about the show.
Yeah.
So, like, is it the content, or is it just us shooting the shit?
The content of you dying repeatedly. You didn't die this time. Look at that gate. I remember that gate. New content. Haha.
I'm going to go the other way around.
Oh.
Fuck you.